Novel Collective. We're so excited to welcome you to our Christmas party for It's a Wonderful Christmas. Hey, everybody, wave. My name is Lindsay Brackett, and I am so honored to be here tonight hosting Janaire Tromp, Kelly Stewart, Lynn Gentry, Allison Pittman, and we will have some shout-outs to Julie Cantrell as well to celebrate their brand new Christmas novella collection, It's a Wonderful Christmas. Do y'all have a copy you can hold up? Because mine is like, my Kindle is currently stuck on Lynn's book. Yay, there it is. It's so pretty. It's so pretty. I love that it's blue, that it's not traditional Christmas colors. It's so fun for me. Well, tonight we are so happy to have you guys here. We have so much fun planned, and I can't wait to tell you all about it. This is the HNC Christmas Party celebrating It's a Wonderful Christmas. So if you're here, please drop us a comment. Let us know. We'll be sure to give you a little shout out. The girls can't really see the comments, so I'll try to keep an eye on them. But you guys, backstage, we have a helper. And that helper is Christy Ann Hunter. And she likes to yell at me. Yay, Christy. She likes to yell at me when I monitor the Facebook comments too closely. So if I don't see yours right away, it's just because I'm trying to be good and not let Christy yell at me. But if you drop us a comment or drop us a GIF of something you love about Christmas or share a picture, if you've already got your tree up, we would love to know. Then we'll be sure to put that up and highlight you in the show. And most importantly, we have lots of things to talk about because every time you comment and every time you leave us some sort of fun picture to talk about, you are entered to win some fabulous, fabulous prizes. Guys, we've already got people waving at us from Dallas and Ohio. Hey. Chrissy, the bow covered my face. She did it again. So, ladies, tell us what sort of wonderful, fun things you guys are going to be giving away tonight.
So we are doing a $50 Amazon gift card, and that is the drawing that Lindsay was talking about. So if you drop a comment in comments or a GIF or anything and talk to us, we will enter you into the drawing for a $50 Amazon gift card. And then for everybody that comes, we also have a recipe book that we put together. All of our books surrounded food for some reason. I don't know.
I'm here for it.
I think there's something about writers and like yummy food. So we have a recipe book for everybody for free. And we do need your email address to send it to you. So we do ask for that, and you will be signed up for all of our newsletters. And we promise not to send you mail in your email box, but that means that you get to keep up on the newest and cool information and giveaways that we all do periodically throughout the year. So.
Hey, listen, y'all, you want to be signed up for these ladies' newsletters because you need to know when new books are dropping. Janaire's got one coming. Kelly's got one coming. Lynn's got one coming. Allison, you got one coming, don't you, this year?
This summer.
This summer, see? I mean, you need to know this information. So make sure you sign up. We have dropped the comment there in the comments. Rough Draft Life is hosting the party tonight. A Rough Draft Life is mine and Christy's podcast. And we are so happy to be here and to hang out with these ladies and talk about writing and Christmas and food because those are my favorite things. So we definitely want you to go there. It's right there. It's a book hip link and sign up for it and you'll get the free recipe book. And then again, every comment enters you to win that $50 Amazon gift card.
Don't miss it.
What else are we giving it? Are we giving away anything else? I can't remember. Oh, I have something.
I was going to say, you have something, Lindsay.
I have something. Listen, I can't let these ladies talk about their Christmas novellas without reminding you that I also have a Christmas novella. It came out last year. So Magnolia Mistletoe is set at Edisto Beach, South Carolina. So, you know, the beach at Christmas is a wonderful thing. And I am going to give away a copy of this to one of our lucky commenters tonight as well. So be sure to drop as many comments as you want, but be wary of the Facebook jail because sometimes Facebook, you know, thinks that we talk too much as if there was a thing. So let 3 or 4 other people comment in between and maybe they'll keep you out of jail. But be sure to leave us lots of fun information about why you're here, where you're from, whether or not you've read these books. And people are commenting, you guys, on our lovely festive attire. So I feel like people, listen, Kelly might have, does it jingle, Kelly?
No, it doesn't. That's the one unfortunate thing. But Allison's jingles.
I jingle.
Allison, I need to see the jingling. Oh, I love it.
I'm jingling your shirt. Can you hear it?
Nair has jingly earrings.
And I have a llama.
Oh, it's a llama.
See,
I have Goodwill thrift store.
Oh,
From like whatever, 1982.
Nice.
Yeah.
Yeah,
What's got Lynn over there?
I light up.
Lynn lights up. Yay. I love that. And she has on reindeer ears. Even better. Perfect. So we are going to have a little contest later for who has the ugliest Christmas sweater. I feel like, ugly is such a term that we have made mean wonderful things, because really, when other time in life can you win for something that is so ugly? Like, I think Janair's is really just cute. I think the llama's so cute.
My daughter, who is 16, declared it the ugliest thing she's ever seen. So I don't know.
Oh, well, that's true. If your 16-year-old thought it was ugly, there you go.
There you go.
My 16-year-old refuses to wear mine even when it's ugly sweater day at her school. Go figure.
Mine was abandoned in our school office, and I just picked it up and took it home.
That's fantastic, Allison. Did you wear it
Somebody
to school
left
and
it.
jingle
I
it
don't
at
know
the
if they
kid?
were going to come back later and get it. I don't know. But I
Someone's walking around your school looking for their jingly sweater right now.
I know.
Sissy Stubblefield, if this is yours.
She's gonna wear it to school, and all the students are gonna be like, "I hear bells. I hear bells."
I can't wear these earrings on the regular. They drive me crazy.
Yeah.
Because they are right by my ear. It gives me a headache. But I'm wearing it special for you guys.
Oh, we're touched. We're touched. I think that Allison should wear her sweater while reading A Christmas Carol, specifically the part, where the bells all ring when Marley comes in. I think that
As you're ringing it, you can
That would just be
Yes.
dignity. That would be dignity, all told. Yes.
Yeah, I think that's absolutely what you should do.
Allison, didn't you do a Christmas book last year on A Christmas Carol?
I did. Can I show it?
Yes, please.
It is.
How did I not know this? Because A Christmas Carol is my favorite thing ever.
It's
I'm directing
so
it now.
cool.
This is Keeping Christmas, and it is a series of devotionals for the Advent season that follows the story of A Christmas Carol. I'll give a copy away if somebody wants to.
Yeah.
Well, it's going to go in my Amazon card as soon as we're done. So,
Well, that's
Yeah.
great. But yeah,
We
I will
can
give a
add that.
copy of this away if I can. Can I do that now? Can I just
Absolutely.
give stuff away on the fly?
we don't really have rules, or we have a
Okay,
schedule that we're kind of following. Listen, Terry said she used to wear Jingle Bell earrings every Christmas to high school. Love it.
I couldn't do it. I love it.
So you guys are doing great with the commenting. Be sure to let your friends know that they need to come over here and hang out with us on the Her Novel Collective page. All right. You can share. You can just click the little share button. It'll share our event, so you'll know. It's going to be great. Oh, somebody says Keeping Christmas sounds incredible. They can't wait to get it.
Yay.
All right. And so in addition to our very festive attire, the ladies here who wrote these beautiful and sweet Christmas novellas that you can't wait to read, they also have some matching mugs. Let's show off the mugs, girls.
Ta-da.
This is some wonderful, it's a wonderful Christmas swag. It's wonderful. Perfect. So Allison was going to tell us about the mugs and how those came to be.
I have a really, really good friend. She and her husband have a craft business called Clegg Crafts. And if you're a Texas person and you know the Buc-ee's store, I have Buc-ee's in my story. He features a lot of his work in Buc-ee's as well. But she made the mugs, and so we'll probably be putting up a link to their website, and you can get some very, very unique Christmas gifts, one of a kind. Everything he does little wooden, like little drawer things and little tiny boxes and special boxes. So you can get a completely unique Christmas gift for somebody this year from Clegg Crafts.
That is such a great idea. And I love somebody said all teachers love a good mug. That is true. We do. We collect them so that we can leave them abandoned in the office.
And then I'll bring them home.
Exactly. So, well, like we told you all, we are giving away a $50 Amazon gift card. Well, the authors are giving away a $50 Amazon gift card. And I'm giving away a copy of Magnolia Mistletoe. Allison's going to give away a copy of Keeping Christmas. And every single one of you can get a recipe book. And Janaire is about to cook us up cook us is a loosely used term.
Yes.
One of her is this recipe in the book, I would assume?
Yes.
Okay, perfect. So tell us
And
about
we use recipe very loosely, by the way, too.
We use recipe very loosely. So, well, let me tell everybody, those people who are just kind of drifting in case you don't know, we are here tonight with Janaire, Kelly, Lynn, and Allison. All of these wonderful authors came together along with Julie Cantrell to put together a Christmas novella collection called It's a Wonderful Christmas. And each novella is based on a favorite Christmas movie. And we are going to have some little Christmas movie trivia later, lots of opportunities to win prizes. And we're going to give each author an opportunity to tell you about their story and how it came to be. But most of all, we are here to have fun, to celebrate their accomplishment, and to celebrate, of course, Christmas, because I realize that it is November the 9th. But let me tell you what, I have never seen so many trees go up as soon as Halloween was over as I have this year. So I think we're ready. We're ready for Christmas. Bring it on. We can never have enough. And to kick it off, Janaire's got a recipe for us.
A recipe. So this is a recipe for peppermint bark, and my kids make this. So if my kids can make this, he was 12 last year, my 12-year-old can make this. And basically all you need is white chocolate and candy canes, and I like to use mint extract. So I have my white chocolate, I have candy canes. Take the plastic stuff off the candy canes first. Just an FYI. Maybe. I already did it because it takes forever and it's really staticky and it like sticks everywhere. So I'm not going to do that. But this is just a super cheap like almond bark. But what makes it better is adding in some Ghirardelli white chocolate. And so I'm going, oh my goodness, I'm all big now.
Yeah, you're the star.
I got
You're
one of
the
these.
star.
No,
Cooking with
Julie
Janaire.
said, Julie said it's the Great British Baking Show. And I'm like, that's too much pressure for me. I don't think I can live up to that. So basically you put all of these things in, and my microwave is like right over here.
This is really good planning on your part. I love it.
How long do we microwave it?
I know, right?
How
So
long do we microwave it?
you follow the directions on the thing in theory, but I just throw it in for 2 minutes because they always say, we'll put it in for 30 seconds on power 3. And then it takes an hour to melt. And that's just too long for me. I'm impatient. I don't know about you guys, but I don't do patience very well.
I don't do patience. That's going to be my new favorite Janaire quote.
I don't. And in fact, one of my favorite things about this recipe is I get to take my aggression out on innocent candy canes. And Lynn's going to do it with me. I'm so excited I'm not doing this by myself. She's like, are we really going to hit these things with our rolling pins live? I'm like,
Yes.
Yes,
This is
we
for
are.
all the bad reviews.
Baking with Lynn and Janaire.
While you guys do that, I'm gonna enjoy my peppermint steak.
Nice, Kelly. Nice.
You should
I'm gonna watch
just,
the
just a heads up that this will break the bag a little bit. So you're going to get a fine dust on whatever you're beating it on. Don't lick the counter afterwards. I don't recommend it. I have children who have done it though. But you just beat it up. You'll have to turn it. Can you hear me over me beating this?
Oh, yeah.
And you can't see it because I'm not the great at the baking show, so I don't have 2 cameras.
And Janaire, we got to get you to step up your game with like the multiple cameras. Where's the 16-year-old? You know, that's their job, is to film us.
My 16-year-old is at a swim thing tonight.
Can I
So
say something real quick? Whenever
yeah.
I have to I make different things where I have to do the candy canes too. I wrap the plastic bag in paper towels, and so that keeps your counter from getting all sticky and everything. And then you can just throw everything away.
Well, now you tell me.
I was going to say, now you tell us. You know, it would probably work to do it on parchment paper too, and then you can still use it.
Ooh, I feel like that's an extra pro tip.
You know what I mean?
Yeah.
All right. So you can do this as fine as you want and leave chunks if you want. Whatever you want to do is totally cool. And just a heads up that when you're melting chocolate, the white chocolate will stay in a form even if it's melted. So you actually want to get in there and stir it. You don't want to go like, oh, it's not melted. It hasn't changed shape.
Listen, people are asking some very technical questions. Like
go.
Lindsay wants to know, not me, Lindsay, different Lindsay, wants to know, is there a difference in the type of candy cane you use based on the quality of cane? And, you know, she's right. There's Dollar Tree canes, and then there's, you know, the $3.99 candy canes.
So at this point, I got whatever candy canes I could find because we're a little early for this. If I'm just being honest, I had to get mine off of Amazon. And they were supposed to be normal sized candy canes. And y'all, they were like 3/4 candy canes. They weren't like the minis.
I had to buy almost 100 of these suckers, and so like I could give them away if somebody wants them.
Lynn, listen, if
from last
your
year.
candy cane shipping is delayed, Lynn's gotcha.
Because I ordered some on Amazon and it said they'd be here tomorrow.
That's not helpful, Lynn.
That's not helpful. So
It's really not.
I found these at Walmart, and oh my goodness, I had to buy so many.
So I have to say that I've gotten into the Christmas spirit way earlier this year than I ever have before.
Same.
And it's not just because I wrote 2 Christmas novellas this summer. The one for It's a Wonderful Christmas and then another one. But there are so many good books out there that are for Christmas this year. Lynn, you did a whole bunch of them last week on her novel collective.
Oh yeah, and I could have done double that.
I know.
We had so many friends over. We had Christy Harvey and Becky Wade and Amy Mateo and Courtney Walsh and Beth Boat.
Yep. And Kara Putman, who endorsed our book, has one out. What's that one called? Christmas at Mistletoe Square. And that one looks really good. I've read bits and pieces of that one. It's amazing.
Yeah.
So we're getting lots of really great book recommendations right now, everyone. And if you were not active on her novel collective last week, just scroll down. You can find Lynn's posts. They're all still there. And she did the neat thing was she had the authors take over each day.
Yeah,
We had Christy popping in. And I think we had Christy the day she found out she hit the New York Times bestseller list. It was exciting.
Yeah. I
There's
think you're
that.
right.
Yeah. Now, somebody is letting us know that Walmart sells crushed candy canes, which is convenient, but probably not as good as stress reliever.
Yeah. I was going to say, it's my favorite part, eating up candy canes. So my chocolate is melty and my candy canes are mushed. And so you literally, you guys can't see this, I'm sorry. So you just dump them in.
When do you put in the mint? When do you put in this?
I was going to say, and then I put in some mint extract.
Oh,
you don't have to have mint extract, but it kind of flavors the chocolate a little bit and just makes it just that much more extra special. And it depends on how much chocolate.
You can make a editor.
I'm a word person too. It's a scary thing. So you just put a little bit in. And y'all, I don't measure anything. Can you tell? And you just make sure you stir that up good though, because mint is pretty strong. And then I have over here already go. You don't have to do it on a tray. I just did it on a tray so it's easier to hold it up so y'all can see it. It's parchment paper on there, and you literally pour this out onto the parchment paper and it dries. And then you break it apart and you have peppermint bark. It is the easiest thing to make. Kids love it. It's an amazing gift. You put it in a little bag with a cool little bow, and there you go. So there.
And it's in our recipe booklet.
It is. I'm going to pour this out a sec so it doesn't harden in the bowl. Don't leave it in the bowl.
Yeah.
It'll harden. And a secret for cleanup of the bowl, rinse it in really hot water. It melts all the chocolate and it's super easy to clean.
Listen, Janera is full of tips. I think she was not the great British baking show, but I think she is. I think she's the great Michigan baking writer. That's what we're going to start calling her.
Okay, that'll work for me. I love to bake and cook and stuff. So
Oh, good. This is a good tip that Christy's giving y'all right now. If you want to see your face and name instead of Facebook user, click to Christy, you need an editor. Click the link above the video to give StreamYard permission to use your name. Yeah, because if you don't give us permission, it just says Facebook user, and we don't actually know who you are, which makes it really hard to give you a prize. So there's that. Well, while Janaire is spreading out her lovely peppermint bark for us, which now I'm kind of jealous that I'm not there and able to partake of that with her. Somebody wants to know if milk chocolate would work.
Yes.
Yeah.
It would. It just you can taste the milk chocolate a little bit more. It has some stronger flavor than white chocolate. But something fun to do too is use white chocolate and then drizzle the milk chocolate or the dark chocolate across the top, and then it looks really pretty. Another thing that's really fun is if you can find the candy canes that have the red and green striping in them, then it looks red and green and it looks a little bit more Christmassy. But again, I didn't have a huge selection.
It is only November 9th. It's fine.
Now I have all this right there. Now I won't get it on my Christmas sweater. I had all the from the candy cane.
Well, while we're waiting on the bark to fully form itself, we're going to take a few minutes now to actually really get to why you're all here. I know you want to hear about the books. I know you want each author to tell you how their story came to be. And I know that you are probably wondering, hey, they're probably all friends, but really, how did this come about? Because while, yes, writers do tend to be friends with other writers, just like, teachers are friends with teachers, sometimes we don't always sit around thinking about how we all want to write a book together. We'll say, oh, it'll be fun to write a book together. And then we don't do it. But you guys actually did it. Yeah. So tell us a little bit, who wants to chime in and tell us a little bit about how this story came to be? Who's got the best telling of the story?
Well, since none of us are storytellers, that's...
What are we going to do about that? I will call on you the way I do my middle schoolers.
I got called in late to the party, so I'm not the one to say how it all started.
I believe that Julie came up with the idea, and I don't know if she talked to you, Janaire, and then one of you called me. I'm not telling this story well. Somebody called me and said, hey, you want to do this? And I thought that sounded really fun. But I think Julie was the mastermind, and then we kind of just formed and started brainstorming what we would want it to look like.
Yeah, I got a Facebook message, and I think I said yes before the entire message had even downloaded. It's like, do you want to write a Christmas? Yes, I do. I just do.
Yeah, Julie was the one that pretty much brought us all together. And she and I were spitballing ideas of like the theme. And I was like, oh, Christmas movies, let's do Christmas movies. And I think that's how that started. Her novel collective was together at that point, and it was a lot bigger.
Right.
Than it was than it is now. But we had just kind of gotten together a group of authors, and we were all like, yeah, let's do it. And Julie really was the one that mother henned us. Can I coin that verb? She mother henned us. And I should say that we adore Julie, and she had just had a last minute scheduling conflict and couldn't be here tonight. So a shout out to Miss Julie out there. We love you, and we miss you, but we're cool with it too. So yeah, authors are people too. We have kind of crazy schedules, but so we got it together and we put a schedule together. We all picked jobs, and then we went and did it.
Listen, I love that you guys did this, and I love that it's being so successful. And I love that we're talking about, maybe we want to get together and maybe do another one. And I also really love that so many of you have messaged me and been like, we're sorry we didn't ask you to be in it. And I'm like, I'm so thankful, because I would have said yes, and then I'd have been so stressed out. So I think it's just really great how the right people come together at the right time to form the right kind of story. And I love that you guys took the theme of movies and then you were able to kind of just weave it all together. And the nice thing about that, I think, for creating a novella is it gave you a nice framework to work from. Now, none of your stories, of course, are just straight verbatim retellings of any of these movies. You know, you really truly put your own spin on it. But I just think that it gives it just that right little hook for readers to be like, oh, I love Christmas movies. And this is going to remind me of some of my favorite Christmas movies when I pick it up and read it. I know I read Jenaire's, gosh, was it over the summer? It was a long time ago.
It was. It was over the summer. Mm-hmm.
Yeah. And I had never seen White Christmas, which hers is based on. I had never seen it until this past Christmas when I watched it. And I was like, how have I not seen this movie my whole life? I don't understand. I'm a theater person, and it's the perfect movie for anyone who loves theater and writing and storytelling and Christmas. And so it was just such a joy to dive into your story and see all those things that reminded me of the movie, but also just to see how unique it was and how it really truly came out of the person that you are. And so, and where you live and your love for Michigan. And so it was just, it's fascinating. I can't wait to dive into them all. I'm halfway through. I'm not even halfway. I'm like on chapter 3 of Lynn's right now. It's very good. It's very good. So I'm working my way through it. I'm just kind of savoring it and enjoying it. I don't know Lindsay, who also spells her name like me, the only way to spell it. I can't explain it. It's a terrible thing. Jennifer Purcell, you need to come over to my house. Jennifer Purcell lives near me. You need to come over to my house and we will watch White Christmas together. So, and talk about Jenaire's novel. So tell us a little bit. Okay. So tell us a little bit then about, so I gave you guys a little taste of what Jenaire's book is about, but let's talk about the other ones. So Julie's not here, so I'll talk a little bit about Julie's, and then we're going to give you guys each a chance to kind of jump in. You can talk about each other's. You can talk about your own. I did read Julie's recently, and Julie's, I love, is based on National Lampoon's Christmas Vacation, which my family personally loves. My brother and sisters and my parents and I, we used to watch it every Christmas Eve. And we used to say that Uncle Ernie is our Uncle Travis because our Uncle Travis was just like that. Like he would just kind of show up. Like one year he showed up for Christmas and he pulled everybody's gift out of a trash bag. And you really weren't sure if he really did get it out of the dumpster or he didn't. It was that situation. But I loved how Julie took just that idea of let's have a fun old-fashioned family Christmas. And she made it this story about this family really overcoming an incredibly difficult situation. You've got this mom and her teenage children who have just recently found themselves as a 3-person family instead of a 4. And they're, the teenage daughter is really trying to work through that and trying to process it. And then Julie gives it an even more modern spin. And she has this teenage daughter chronicle her whole family's Christmas on TikTok, which I don't get on TikTok. So kudos to her for researching.
She and I are both on TikTok. She and I are on TikTok, and she does amazing with TikTok. I love Julie's channel on TikTok.
I can't even fathom what I would do on TikTok.
I have an account, and I just I open it up every couple of days, and I look at it, and then I close it again. So,
I mean, that's okay, Kelly. But y'all do great reels. Isn't that the same thing? I mean, it's kind of the same thing.
It's basically the same thing. I was going to say, I just do goofy stuff and I show books. I did one that was all Christmas books. And so I'll just do a book talk about Christmas books, and they blow up and people love them. And it's not that hard.
Listen, I think I need to hire Jenaire to coach me through social media. I really do think this.
I have a day job.
Listen, I will pay you in Peppermint Park.
I will take it.
Yeah, maybe Kelly wants to help me out too, and Lynn and Alex. I just cannot seem to get the social media together lately. I am in awe. I was really in awe of this story where Julie was able to bring in the different ways families react to having their whole life kind of chronicled for them on social media, especially when you've got grandparents who really don't know what that is. Mm-hmm. I just thought it was such a fun little takeaway for me. I really enjoyed that. And it really was an impactful story. I finished Julie's story and I thought, I feel like there might be some relationships in my life I need to work on. So I'm going to think about that for a little while. And it was just great. It was really great for that reason. So tell us a little bit, Allison, Kelly, Lynn, tell us a little bit about either your story or each other's, whichever one you want to go with. I'm going to make one of you talk.
Who's going to go? I feel like mine is based on a movie that nobody has seen.
What's it based on, Allison?
It's a 1940 black and white classic, Remember the Night, with Fred MacMurray and Barbara Stanwyck. So it's a movie. It's not available on streaming. I had to finally buy the DVD because I would just stalk Turner Classic Movies to see when it was going to show. So I'll be letting everybody know when it's going to be on. But it was also made into I don't know if it was Hallmark or Lifetime it's called The Second Day of Christmas with Mark Ruffalo and Mary Stuart Masterson. And it's the story of a woman who's a criminal. In my case, she's a car thief. And in all of the stories, like Barbara Stanwyck is a jewel thief, Mary Stuart Masterson is a shoplifter. And she gets arrested right close to Christmas, but for whatever reason cannot stay in jail. And so the arresting officer, and in the Fred MacMurray movie, he's the district attorney, has to take her home for the weekend and just assume custody of her and bring her to his home. And so in mine, she's a girl who has stolen her mother's car and she's pulled over for speeding. And I have a brother-in-law who's a DPS officer, and actually the husband of the person that I think this sweater belongs to is a judge. And
I would like to point out that Allison is calling herself a thief in her story about a thief.
It was there. It was on the table. What am I supposed to do? But I interviewed him extensively to find out exactly how the Texas judicial system works and how the justice system works and how arrests work. And then none of that works for romantic comedy. So I just threw it all out and made up my own justice system and legal system.
But he made up her own.
Well, what are you going to do?
Listen, I feel like all justice and judicial systems on Hallmark movies are made up. So
exactly.
Fine.
But it was fun to get to write romantic comedy because you don't often think of my books and romantic comedy in the same idea. So that was another fun thing about this project, is getting to kind of bust out of our normal genres. I know Kelly's is really, just unique from what she's usually out there writing. So that was a fun part.
Well, that is a great transition into hearing about Kelly's. And while Kelly's telling us about her book, if you have questions for these authors, drop them right there in the comments. Yes, they count toward your enrollment in our giveaway. But also, we're going to take a few minutes here and we're going to answer some of your questions. So anything you want to ask is kind of a free-for-all about their Christmas novella collection, about our writing life, about people's favorite Christmas traditions or recipes or whatever you want to ask. Go ahead.
So
Julie went away. I mean, not Julie. Janaire went away, but that's okay. Maybe she's coming back.
My book is based on the Nutcracker. And when we first kind of started talking about what we wanted to write, I typically write historical fiction, but I usually write historical fiction based in the former Soviet Union, or I have characters from the former Soviet Union. So as we were kind of talking through this, we tossed out the idea of me writing the Nutcracker because of Tchaikovsky. Mm-hmm. So before I wrote the story, I felt like I've never seen the Nutcracker. And
I've seen the Nutcracker.
Yeah, I've never seen it. I know the music, but I've just never seen it. And so I felt like I needed to read the book. So I got the book, Nutcracker and the Mouse King by E.T.A. Huffman. Mm-hmm. And that is a weird book. I don't know if you've ever read it. Pretty sure the guy was on something while he was writing it. It's just very trippy. Like the whole time I was reading it, I was like, this is weird. And then it made me think,
like the Nutcracker comes to life and fights a mouse, and it's kind of a weird story.
The little girl runs off with him. It's very strange. It's very strange. And then like in his book, there's like a fairy tale within a fairy tale that I did not get. I've seen the Barbie version. Yes, that's the only Nutcracker version that I've seen. So anyways, as I was reading it, I realized that the Sugar Plum Fairy is not in the book. Like she's just, the Land of Sweets is in the book, but there's no mention of the Sugar Plum Fairy. And then Alexander Dumas rewrote Nutcracker and the Mouse King, and I think his is called The Nutcracker. I'm not sure. And the Sugar Plum Fairy is not in his version of the book either. So I did some research, and she was just a figment of Tchaikovsky's imagination. And he found this instrument called the Celesta. He was at a concert in Paris in whatever year that was, and heard this amazing instrument that he described it as sounding like drops of water coming from a fountain. And he wanted to write a character that would dance to this specific instrument. And so that was sort of the birthplace of the Sugar Plum Fairy. So I thought, well, nobody knows who she is or where she came from. So there's my story. Who was she? Where'd she come from? So I just wrote a fairy tale. And the whole story is the story of the Nutcracker from the Sugar Plum Fairy's perspective of her kingdom has been overtaken by the Mouse King, and it's under a curse. And in order to break the curse, they have to solve this riddle and find the magical Crackatuck nut and crack it. And only the Nutcracker can crack the nut to defeat the Mouse King. And so it was really fun. It was really challenging. Like Allison said, it's totally different from anything that I've ever done before. But I had a lot of fun writing it.
Kelly, I cannot wait to dive into that.
It was
I just thought you had done another romance or women's fiction or historical. Like that's what I was expecting.
It's like it's a fairy tale, and I tried to mirror a little bit of what E.T.A. Hoffman did, but without taking substances to write. I wrote sober. Let's just say that. all my imagination.
Her peppermint bark did not have any added ingredients.
No spike in my soda. No, it was fun.
I love that. Somebody was saying too that they're also reading The Fabulous Freaks of Monsieur Beaumont right now.
Yay.
Yeah, which shout out for the podcast. Christy and I do a couple bonus episodes every month, and they are behind our Patreon wall. So if you're a patron, if you're a patron of the podcast, then you get these 2 bonus episodes. And mine is called Not Your Grandma's Christian Fiction. And I talk about the books that people don't typically think about when they think about reading Christian fiction. And this month I highlighted Kelly's book.
Oh, thanks.
I didn't tell you that, but life just is
so
crazy.
Fun. No, it's a fun surprise. I love it.
Yes. So it was really fun book to talk about. So I cannot wait to dive into yours. All right. Well, let's talk about Lynn's. Okay. So I've just started reading Lynn's book, and already cannot wait to see how these townspeople are going to pull this off. But it's got some of my favorite things. It's got small town. It's got quirky characters. It's got, maybe there's going to be a rekindled love story. Maybe not. Maybe. Not really sure. But it's called Miracle on Main Street. Am I right? Am I getting this right?
I always hate going after Kelly because she sounds so smart. And I'm just like... She says Tchaikovsky like Celeste. Every time she says Celeste, I'm just sitting here thinking, apple pie. That's Yes, my story is based on the movie Miracle on 34th Street. And that movie always just fascinated me as a kid. And it fascinated me for 2 reasons. One, imagining something and wanting it so bad, and somebody loving you enough and caring enough to make sure that you get it. And, especially getting a family, and everything works out so perfectly in that movie. And the second thing was Christmas parades. We always watched the Macy's Thanksgiving Day Parade while we were, getting ready for Thanksgiving. And it was so fascinating to me. New York seemed like so far away from my little Kansas town, and everything seemed so big. But in my little Kansas town, we did have a Christmas parade. Most of the floats were pulled by pickup trucks or John Deere tractors or Massey Ferguson tractors. And there were horses and poop involved. So it was a little bit of a different thing. And one year I was the Christmas queen, and I got to ride on the float.
She's practicing her wave.
Yes. So the Christmas parade is a kind of a nostalgic thing for me. Small towns are very nostalgic, where everybody knows everybody. But when Julie contacted me and asked me to join this, my writing schedule was already pretty full. And I said the only way I could do this was if I could write the conclusion to a 4-book series that I already have out there called my Mount Hope Walking Shoes series. And I will give away a copy of Walking Shoes. It's the first book in the series tonight. If you drop it in the comment, I'll give that away. And in it, you will meet the pastor's wife, Leona Harper, and her life gets turned upside down when her husband drops dead in the pulpit, and she has to reinvent herself in this small town where everybody's used to keeping really sharp eyes on her, and every move she makes in her new shoes are about to trip her up. And so in this final book, it's kind of like coming home to Mount Hope. All the characters that you've grown to love are rallying around trying to save this dying town from turning to dust in West Texas. And it's based around Ruthie's Diner, which is called the Coffee Cup. And that diner is actually based off a diner in my hometown we called the Dirty Spoon. So it does, if that doesn't make you want to go there, I don't know what does. But in the recipe booklet, I have Ruthie's apple pie, and she's famous and well known for her pie, and there's no such thing as a sliver of pie in Ruthie's Diner. So I hope that when you read it, you will get this sense of people pulling together, even if they kind of rub each other wrong a little bit. But in the end, friends and neighbors and family mean everything. And it speaks to a special part of my heart where veterans with PTSD. And so I'm excited for you to get to read this story.
Well, I am already, I've dove. Janera, what's right? Dove?
Dived.
I've dived into it. So I am excited about it. And I love reading about parades in small towns. For me, same thing, Lynn. They're just so nostalgic. Our sweet little small town, the Christmas parade is always held at night, and it's lighted. Mm-hmm. And it's just really, it's just really sweet. And we're going to miss it this year because I have a show that night, so I can't be at the Christmas parade. But
we had some women that always rode riding lawnmowers down the main street, and they could cut wheelies on those things. They were the best thing.
We have a mountain bike team, and they ride in every parade, and they wrap their bikes in lights. It's fun. All right, viewers, we need for you to drop us some questions. If you have any questions that you want us to ask, we will be happy to do that. So go ahead and start dropping those right here in the comments. And in the meantime, I've got a few questions for these ladies. Okay. And we're going to do a little Christmas movie trivia after we answer a couple of your questions. All right. So Janet wants to know, why did you choose the particular movie that you did to base your story on? Some of you kind of answered that. Like, we heard about Kelly's.
I chose White Christmas because it's one of my favorites.
Oh.
I mean, it just comes down to as simple as that. And then as soon as I chose it and told everybody that's what I was going to do, I had like a panic attack because I chose one of the most well-known Christmas movies to do. And because of copyright law, you can't just recreate the movie. So I was like, oh my goodness, what am I going to do? So the weird thing is, it was a total, it was crazy because I wanted a really cool location for mine. And it was during COVID, so we couldn't travel, right? So I think a lot of us did local to where we are kind of stories. And so mine takes place in a castle. It's a real castle in Michigan. And it used
always
to be
where I think there's going to be a castle.
I know, right? And get this, in the 60s and 70s, when my story is set, it was a music venue, which is totally what happens in White Christmas, right? There's a musical, this big concert and stuff. So it just worked out really, really well. I was thinking about backing out of White Christmas until I found that castle. And I was like, oh, this is perfect. So that's how I chose mine.
And I chose mine because it's my favorite movie that I'm the only person I know who's ever seen it.
But after I read yours, Allison, I so desperately want to see that movie because your story is so stinking cute.
Well, thank you.
I love Allison's story.
But yeah, Remember the Night, Fred MacMurray, Barbara Stanwyck. I had such a crush on Fred MacMurray as a child.
Me too.
Which, you know, in My Three Sons, as Stephen Douglas, the space engineer, yeah, I always had a thing for him anyway.
But I like Barbara Stanwyck. She's always
love
nails, you know.
And I was torn between Christmas in Connecticut with the Barbara Stanwyck film, which is, I think, a close second to a favorite Christmas film of mine. But there's been a lot of movies or a lot of books and stories that kind of mirror that storyline. And so
I'm going to have to ask my mother-in-law. She has a lot of older, lesser known Christmas movies. I'm going to have to ask her if she's got it in her vast DVD collection. Oh, Christy's got a new question for us. What is each of your favorite Christmas traditions?
Well, we every year go to the Christmas Eve service, and then we come back and we have lettuce wraps, which is really random, but my mom has been making them for forever. And so like, that's what you have lettuce wraps and all kinds of other unhealthy foods. And we watch White Christmas. So where you've only seen it once, I've seen it about, well, let's see, I'm 43 and we watched it every year. So I've seen it at least 43 times. So yeah, and I just love it every year. Like last year, my husband was like, hey, is there any other movie we might want to watch on Christmas? And all of us looked at him like, what's wrong with you?
No.
Why would you even say that?
heathen.
But we've seen it so many times that we fast forward through the parts that we don't like anymore. Like the one choreography song that's really weird where he's like beatnik style. We always fast forward through that one. Get through it a little quicker.
That was back in the days when musicals were like, hey, we're just going to have a big dance number here because we can.
It doesn't make any sense at all.
Mm-hmm. Mm-hmm.
We have a new tradition now that I have 6 grandchildren. I collect pictures of their family's life, and especially like I have grandkids camp and they come and stay at my house, and I collect those pictures and then I arrange them and I send them off to Shutterfly and make them into puzzles. And then each family gets on the counter. We stand on the counter here, and we don't stand on the counter. We stand around the counter. So that was not a good English there. And we unwrap the puzzle, and then we set a timer to see who can put their family's year together the fastest. And it's so fun watching the littles find their face. This is me, you know, and put their pictures together. So I'm trying to
do that.
That's a great idea.
It's really fun. And then they have their year in a puzzle, and it's my, shout out to a scrapbook, because I don't do scrapbooks or that kind of thing. So.
It's a fairly new tradition. We've been doing it for about 5 years because all of my kids are grown up now. And then they have girlfriends, and it's like, I don't know how to shop for the girlfriend, and the girlfriend doesn't know how to shop for me. And are we shopping? So every year I write a poem that has categories for gifts. So if there's 7 like this year, there's 7 of us, there are 6 gift categories, and you are assigned a name and a category for each person. So the category might be something made of wood. And then I get my son's girlfriend, Haley, for that. So I have to find her a gift that's made of wood. We had a category, something to write on or with. So it was either a cute notebook or a cute pen or pencil set or something. And you have a name assigned to that. And we're actually meeting together tomorrow. I just wrote the poem for this year. But it's cool because some of us are hard to shop for. And so you have parameters, but you have so much freedom within those parameters. Like the year we had, one of the categories was something with a touch of pink in it. And I got my husband a guitar strap that had this cool paisley design that had a little bit of pink every here and there. But I got a pink bathrobe, and one of my sons got his brother the big Ralph rabbit suit, the huge pink suit. So everything. And so the fun thing is then on Christmas Eve, when we open this, is explaining how each gift fits each category. And it makes the whole present opening experience fabulous, and the whole shopping experience really meaningful. So that's our new favorite.
I'm gonna steal that.
It's really cool. I feel like I'm just gonna take notes. I need to step up my game.
We do something similar to, I think it was Kelly that was saying, Christmas Eve, my husband's family for years and years, for as long as Chris can remember, they always get together and they have Chinese food because they're one of the few restaurants that are open. So none of us have to cook, which is fantastic. And then they do like a spiritual Christmas. So they do a spiritual gift for everybody. So now that it's gotten kind of big, it's not quite as focused, but like I do it for my family now too. So I do something that, like I'll often do something that God has gifted my kids specifically in, and I will give them something to support that. Or like one year we did a family game to help support like the family time together, or, whatever it is, like a family devotional we did one year. And we open that Christmas present on Christmas Eve. And then we go to the candlelight service, which is one of my absolute favorite services ever. And the church that we used to go to, they still did live candles. So like they were real flames, and it was just
with the
amazing.
dripping on the cardboard and
with the little plastic thing underneath. It was super fun.
Yeah. This is a fun question about would you consider doing more modern Christmas movies like Home Alone in a future novella collection? So girls, get working for next year.
Yeah, I'm not opposed to it. I don't know. We've talked about doing another collection, but we haven't really talked about what we're going to do yet.
So what do y'all think? Are Christmas books easier to write than other books or not?
I found this to be challenging, partly because it was a novella. I found that having to write a shorter story was much more challenging. Now, it wasn't necessarily the Christmas theme, just that I knew I had to fit the story in a lot fewer words than I'm used to using. So it exercised my writing muscles in a different way.
The one thing with writing Christmas, though, like whenever I'm writing another book, there's always like, is that too much? Is that too cheesy? Is that you just cannot be too much. You cannot be too cheesy. You can't be, because it's a forgiving audience. At some point, sometimes they want, our audience who, if you're reading a Christmas book, you want a little bit of just that warm fuzzy that sometimes doesn't always work for just straight fiction.
I know when somebody, maybe Kimberly Duffy, when she read an early draft of my Christmas novella, she was like, Lindsay, I mean, is there any Christmas happening in this book? Could you maybe add some more? I was like, oh, so sorry. Let me go back and do that. So I swapped out some things, like instead of having a glass of wine, they had hot chocolate and just little things like that. So, but I think you're right, Elson. I think that you can really, with a Christmas book, you can really lean into all the things you think are too much in another story. They are never too much in a Christmas book. So.
Never too much.
All right, girls, we've got some trivia questions. We want to see how well you know these movies that you wrote about. Okay. Kelly's looking scared. Like she's like, okay, the Nutcracker.
I've never seen the Nutcrackers.
All right. So Christy, are you gonna she's got it. Okay. In National Lampoon's Christmas Vacation, what type of animal is in the tree? Oh, I know. And hey, viewers, if you know, you can drop a comment and let us know too. All right, Allison, what would you like to answer?
It's a cat.
It's totally a cat. Last year, we had this great big giant Christmas tree. We called it our National Lampoon tree. And I kept waiting for like the day when the squirrel or the cat or the something was going to come flying out at me. So it was that kind of tree. All right, Christy, we're ready. Let's go. Next. We got it. Cat.
It is a squirrel.
I was going to say, I thought it was a squirrel.
They brought that big Christmas tree out. I know, I thought it was too. Yes.
But doesn't the grandmother have a cat in her basket that gets out and gets in it?
It goes after the squirrel.
There is a cat.
We confused our animals.
Yeah, the cat bites the Christmas lights and shoots fire up.
Okay, you're right.
Yeah.
Allison,
that's what I was
clearly,
thinking of.
we need to rewatch the movie.
Obviously.
So movie night at Allison's. Let me know and I'll be there. All right. Okay, Christy, go with the next one. In the original Miracle on 34th Street, how many takes of the parade were they able to do? Lynn?
I say one.
I don't know. I guess one. I don't know.
I mean, It's a black and white movie, so I wouldn't think a lot.
No, I don't know. One.
They use the real parade.
They use
They
the
use
real
parade.
parade.
That's cool.
That's really cool. Yeah.
I did not know that. Did not.
Has anybody been to the Macy's Day Parade?
No.
I knew that.
Oh, the guy really played Santa?
Yeah.
Yeah,
he did.
in the parade.
Yeah. Uh-huh. He was a great one. Uh-huh.
What other two films does Bing Crosby sing White Christmas in?
One of them is Holiday Inn.
I always get those confused. I always get Holiday Inn and White Christmas
Yeah.
confused with each
They're
other.
similar. I don't know the other one.
I don't either.
Holiday Inn and Blue. I don't know Blue Skies.
Has anybody seen Blue Skies?
No.
Did he just recycle his stuff and just
Listen, it was not that he was
we can do that.
he was working smarter, not harder. Yeah. All right. Sterling Holloway, who played Willie in Remember the Night, went on to voice what other well-known character?
Oh, I'm pretty sure it's in the Winnie the Pooh family.
Oh.
No.
Winnie the Pooh. It was Pooh
Good
himself.
job, Allison.
Yes.
Allison's
That's
so
great.
smart.
Well, if you see the movie, you'll hear Pooh. But that doesn't sound right. But we go.
Oh.
Clara was not the original name of the girl in the Nutcracker. Went back. You went back on us there, Christy. What happened? I don't know what happened. I did know that Clara wasn't the original name. The other name she has been performed as, though, I can't remember off the top of my head. But I remember that I've seen it in multiple places, and I'm always like, why is the girl's name not Clara?
I think it's Marie.
I think you're right.
I think it's
you're right.
Squirrel.
Marie Squirrel. Oh,
Yeah.
okay. Pick any version of that.
That's the name that's in the book. Marie is the name in the book. I think Tchaikovsky came up with Clara, but Marie is the name.
Tchaikovsky was just like, he's like, listen, I only kind of like this. I'm going to invent some stuff that's
This
mine.
story was weird. I'm gonna do something different.
It's sort of, you know, how people think that Alice in Wonderland is a children's story and then they read the real version and you're like, mm-mm.
And
Yeah.
also Mary Poppins is terrible. Just if you read Mary Poppins,
Yes.
she's a mean, cruel woman.
Yeah.
Yes, I've heard that. Okay, what scene in National Lampoon's Christmas Vacation did studio execs want to cut, but the producer begged to keep? I don't know. When
This is Julie's, and
I don't know.
No.
we're trying to channel our Julie.
The cat getting electrocuted.
I feel like
I
she
can
pulled
see
that just for us and our confusion over the cat and the squirrel.
I'm thinking if they had cut that scene, I wouldn't have been wrong.
I agree.
Highly
agree.
bothered.
All right. What scene in White Christmas was never in the original script but was added after on-set improvisation? That song that
That horrible song that we always
I was going to say that one horrible song. Yes.
What is
none
it?
of us know the name of.
Yeah, I can't remember what it's called.
Is
Oh,
Seriously?
Really?
Favorite scene.
that would have been a big bummer to lose that one.
I know.
that is a good one. Well, ladies, I don't know if Christy, are you going to throw up some more questions for us? I'm not really sure. Sometimes I can read her mind, sometimes I can't. Oh, what extra language does Santa speak in the two versions? The two versions of what? Just we're supposed to magically know the answer to this, y'all.
I'm wondering, like,
Probably Miracle on 31st.
Miracle. Would
Oh
be-
yeah.
he speaks to some immigrants. I think German. I don't know.
French?
I don't know.
Italian. We're just saying languages at this point.
Dutch.
Czechoslovakian.
Sign
That's
language.
in sign language.
We were so close.
German is close to Dutch.
The multilingual Santa. What did the director of Remember the Night have to promise Barbara is it Stanwyck?
Mm-hmm.
They would use if needed to get her to agree to be in the movie.
Allison?
I don't know.
I have no idea unless it's Fred McMurray. Oh, yeah, because she's a jewel thief, and there's a lot of close-ups of what the bangle that she steals. So
I wonder why she didn't like her own hands.
she might not. Maybe she just didn't like them. I don't know.
That's
I
so
would need a
interesting.
hands model.
Now I have to go watch and focus on her hands obsessively. Thanks.
Now I feel like
They're not her
can I get a
hands.
hand model?
Ah.
Isn't Joey a hand model in an episode of Friends?
She thought her hands were pudgy.
She thought they were pudgy. No. What important person did not think the original score of the Nutcracker Ballet was any good?
I'm gonna say the Tsar or something.
Name another Russian composer there, Kelly.
Was it Alexander Dumas? I'm not sure. I'm not sure who it was.
I don't know. I have no idea.
Oh.
This is our own worst critic, right?
I feel like Christy's throwing shade at all the authors who were like, I wrote this book, but it's not really any good.
I do too. I'm catching it.
Makes me feel better.
There you go. We are our own worst critics. So that's a good point though about how we worry so much about what other people are going to think about our stories, and we worry so much about what we think about them. And friends who are watching tonight, we want y'all to know that every time you share our stories, every time you share a review for It's a Wonderful Christmas, you are just blessing these ladies, and you are helping their story get out into the world, and you're blessing other people because then they get to hear about it and they get to find out about it. So if you've read it, please go and drop a review. It does not have to be an essay. I think people get intimidated because they're like, I have to write like a whole synopsis of this book. No. 5 stars and you're done. We're good.
Yeah,
So-
listen, I liked it. I didn't like it. It's great.
That's all you need. That's all you need. And so, so we would just really love it if you read this story, if you'll take the time to go and drop a review on Amazon or any other large book retailer. And if you'll do that just for, that's a great gift you can give authors at this time of year, is just simply review their books that you've read throughout the year. I know I have like a huge stack that I need to go and write reviews for because, these authors gift me stories. And whether they gift them to me, like they literally send them to me in the mail, or they just gift them to me by putting them out in the world, it's a great way to be able to say thank you so much. And I think we're kind of coming up on the end of our party here, girls. We got to vote on the ugliest sweater. Who we think has the ugliest sweater? I feel like, Christy is. I need to make sure that everybody knows how to find you. So when I talk about your website, I want you to stand up and show off your sweater some more, okay?
Okay.
So, we're going to put up Janaire Trumps first. Oh, no, we're going to put up Lynn first. I don't know. Okay, Lynn. Lynn, show off your sweater with the big bow. I love
your lights, Lynn.
Every Southern girl should have a big bow. It's like written in the birth certificate and stuff.
Yes.
Look, Julie's not here tonight, so Julie doesn't get a ugly sweater vote. Sadly. No. Janaire, show us your llama. Yay.
Llama.
Oh,
All right, who's
drama.
next? Allison. Let's see the jingles. Jingle for us, Allison.
Jingle, and then wait, I'm all backwards. You can see there's like presents under the tree.
Oh, it's fantastic.
Yeah.
And Kelly is rocking the ugly sweater vest. I think it's fantastic.
And it's like 90 degrees.
And,
in
a
San
rough
Antonio.
life. Here we go. I got my like.
Oh,
Very nice, very
You may
nice.
win, Lindsay. Yeah.
So, all right. So we need you viewers. Chrissy, I'm not quite certain how we're going to do this. So we just want people to comment on who they think has the ugliest sweater. You and I should have chatted about that. Somebody is telling us that they are going to start y'all's book for book club in a couple of weeks, and they're going to make sure that they write a review. So thank you so much.
Oh,
Thank
that'd
you.
All
be
right.
great.
Yeah, I love when voting for Allison's because of the story behind it. Allison's sweater has a backstory. It's fantastic. So drop your vote. We'll tally up the votes later this evening and let you know who the winner is. Okay. So we are going to, once we close out this evening, this video will remain up on the Her Novel Collective page. So you can go back and rewatch it anytime you just need a good laugh. Or if you're like, I can't quite remember how to make that peppermint bark and I need to watch Cooking with Janaire. It's right there for you. It's ready.
Wow, it's already done.
Oh yeah, it dries super fast. It's fantastic. I'm telling you guys, it's amazing.
Cool.
The easiest thing ever. I'm going to do it. I'm going to totally do it. Gosh, there might be a tie. So many people are voting for these wonderful ugly sweaters. But what I wanted to tell you is we're going to leave it up. So we will take all the comments through that are made tonight through like midnight Eastern time. And then tomorrow morning, tomorrow during the day, at some point, we will pull some winners and make some announcements. We'll post it live. And by we, I mean probably like one of you. I'll be at school. It'll probably be here. We will we'll put up the winner and let you all know who won the $50 gift card, who won each of the stories. Be sure to tell your friends that if they missed it and they're like, oh gosh, I'm so bummed I missed that. Hey, you can go back and watch it. You can pretend you're live. You just won't get a shout out in the middle of it, and that'll be okay. So thank you.
Everybody that came tonight gets our recipe booklet.
Yes.
Yes. We may want to Christy, will you throw that link up in the comments again too, so that people don't have to scroll for it. And you can absolutely put in your just drop in your email and you will get a notification from these ladies with your recipe booklet, and you'll be signed up for all their newsletters, so you will get all the important book information. You'll know when. Let's just real quick recap. Okay. Who has a book coming out next? Is it Kelly? Kelly, is yours March?
I'm March. So Shadows in the Mind's Eye comes out in March.
Okay, so Janaire comes out at Shadow of the Mind's Eye, comes out in March. Who's next?
The Master Craftsman comes out in April.
Okay, Master Craftsman in April. What about you, Lynn?
I have a book coming out, but I don't have a release date yet.
The beauty of being an indie. Do your own thing. What about Allison?
And mine is Laura's Shadow, and it's out this summer.
Out this summer. Okay. All right. So you want to be sure you're signed up for their newsletters so that you will find out when these books are coming out. You won't miss anything. And most importantly, you'll be able to keep up with all the fun stuff that's going on in everybody's life. You can also follow us all at Her Novel Collective. Join the group, hang out. We take turns hosting. You never know what you're going to get from week to week. It's always fun. It is. It's so much fun. And you can follow each of us on social media as well. Lynn, what's your favorite social media platform?
Facebook, probably.
Okay. So you can go find Lynn on Facebook, Lynn Gentry, author. Kelly, what about you?
Instagram.
I love Kelly on Instagram, you guys. She writes wonderful little mini essays. They're so thought-provoking. And she plays the piano. So
Every once in a while.
Every once in a while.
Tune piano. It's fine.
What about you, Allison?
Facebook and Twitter.
Okay, Twitter. That's a new one. And it's not new, but you know, I forget about it sometimes now. All right, Janaire, what about you?
I am Instagram, but I do Twitter too. But I tend to do, I'm a book editor by day. So I tend to do like author tips on Twitter from my day job. So I do like editing author tips over there, but I am way into Instagram. I love pictures.
And I'm Lindsay P. Brackett on Instagram, but you can also follow A Rough Draft Life on Instagram as well and keep up with when we drop new episodes. We would love to pick up some new listeners from here as well. And every once in a while, you know, we have guests. You may hear one of these ladies on A Rough Draft Life. You never know. And thanks, Janet. It is so fun. Thank you. Well, we appreciate everyone hanging out with us tonight. We had such a good time. Thank you so much for being a part of Her Novel Collective. Thank you for celebrating Christmas with us. Thank you for celebrating the fact that it is such a wonderful Christmas. And we hope that all of you go out and have your own perfectly wonderful Christmas. Ladies, you got any final shout outs you want to give?
Okay.
Hold up.
I want to say thank you to Lindsay and Christy so much for hosting us.
Yes,
so
thank you so much.
You guys.
Thank you so much.
Also, our amazing cover design was done by Rosanna White. Rosanna White Designs. She's so talented, and like literally, we just like tossed out a bunch of ideas at her, and then she came up with this, which was nothing that we had tossed her way, and it was just so beautiful. So, thanks to Rosanna.
Yes,
I love that cover with the swirly movie reel. It's so pretty, so pretty.
She's so good.
Rosanna writes her own books too that are amazing.
Yeah.
So.
She does. She absolutely does. I feel like there was one more thing I wanted to tell you guys, but I don't remember what it is now. It'll come back to me.
Thank you, Lindsay, so much.
Yes, this was
You're
so
so
fun.
You're so welcome. It was so much fun to do this with you all. I've got lots of ideas in my head now for some future Her Novel Collective parties. I think we need to have some more cook-offs happening. Definitely. And I think we absolutely need to gather more and hang out more with all of our wonderful members at HNC. We're so very, very grateful for you. You bless us each and every day. And we really, truly hope that you all are headed into the most wonderful time of the year. So good night, and thank you for hanging out with us.
Good night.
Bye, everybody.